The dancers tiptoe onto the stage, their toes lightly rippling a lake's surface, sending out sound waves, prickly and playful, tiny drops bound to crescendo into booms. They are alluring and indulgent as they dance around the point of their tragedy. Squirming in his tight embrace, she longs to loosen and fly over so wide a stage. But strong from the stance of his feet to the vice of his hands, he pulls her through the measures to tiptoe around him till her legs buckle. As she slips, he clutches her desperately. She has almost gone away when he jerks her back to the old movement. But damage has drummed its discord. They strain for their own ends, fastened by the knot of their fingers. Their feet beat relentlessly before blooming into a cry of vigorous yet beguiling motions. She's a breath, itching to utter a note, a word. Snatching her hair, he forces her down and drags her as she roots herself to the floor. She breaks out and flees, but with each step, uncertainty pounds her to her knees. She looks behind, and he, with loving fire, half carries her off stage. The music revs away, filled with chugging anxiety, climaxing into cries that twist and seize like shadows on the walls. In its wake, the thread tightens, wanting to sing, but is strangled into a screech by dread, who swallows it in its quiet. The notes sway up and down like warm breaths, in and out, supported by a heartbeat, forceful, then delicate. A yanking of notes, a crash of cymbals across a face. All is quiet. Give a little, take a little, a lesson in seduction and horror. The breath explodes into voice and cannot be quieted. Like bile, it burns the body in its tearing upward trajectory. For once built up, it must break out. She careens in frenzied pirouettes to grace every crevice with her essence. Each footfall speeds up the tempo with a chime. On the edge, he watches her, with the scars of someone so in love he can't see day. As she slows, her feet patter their way back to him. She's a lover's heartbeat. Anxious, hopeful, all of her draws to him, heels rising to take a new step as his hands fall over her to caress her face, over her jaw, down to her neck. All is silent in anticipation of that first pitch. Screams wrench through silence, every inner power turned inside out of her strangled throat in a grotesque aria till nothing is left but the wick of her candle. Her knees fall like drum beats, followed by her hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. He snakes his arm down her waist and pulls her into the light steps of before, now is dull, to be led, though heavy in his embrace. Just as her feet return to the dance, she flickers back to life with a wrench of her arm's bow. Twice she almost escapes but is snatched back by his strength. When she is crawling, she kicks back, not looking, and he falls.